What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Change of Fortune. This episode, we've got a mirror match, a Vader Greedo versus a Vader Greedo, played by Kevin. So, this version of the deck is one from the Destiny database. I believe it was the Destiny Council put it up. They called it Raid Boss, if I remember correctly. I have made a couple of changes to it, just removing one or two cards here or there to make two-ofs of other cards that were already in the deck that I felt were a little bit more important. So, the basis of the deck is, of course, the Royal Palace. Being able to get a resource immediately turn 1, and then turn 2 drop Vader's Saber is great. The point of this deck also is to get a ton of resources and drop really big stuff down real quick. This deck generates resources far faster than you'd expect, especially with the 2 resources from Vader. So everyone knows Vader. He beats you in the face and has a power action to make sure he beats you in the face. Remove his die, they'll just come right back out for you. And then Greedo's pretty much just there to get killed, like he is in the movies, but you know, it works. And he tends to roll anywhere in between 2 to 4 damage before he gets killed usually, and then you get his ability to roll his die back in. So for upgrades, we've got 2 force speeds. Generally, what I want on Vader is a Vader Saber, a Dark Saber, and a force speed. And then you're pretty much good to go as far as equipment. We've got Treasured Lightsaber. It's literally just there to be overwritten for something else if you can't get the resources that you need, which doesn't happen often. Vader's Lightsaber, its ability cannot be underestimated, being able to not only deal up to +4 damage onto Vader's 4 damage dice, but then to spend a resource, deal another damage, and roll that Vader die back in is just ridiculous. Then, of course, we've got Dark Saber, which means when you place it on Vader, all of its dice get increased by 2. So it has a 4 melee, a 5 melee, a 4 focus, 3 discard, 3 shield, and 3 resource. So you get Dark Saber down, you're pretty much good to go for whatever you need. And then we've got Vader's Fist. Like I said earlier, this deck was put together with a lot of resource generation. It's literally there to get these big things down. I had a game, I believe in testing, where I had Vader's Fist, Dark Saber, and Vader's Saber down by the end of turn 2. And I still had a resource or 2 left over. So, as far as mitigation goes, we've got 2 of Hidden Motive. It's there to be just cheap single die mitigation, try and get rid of some of the damage coming at Vader. Same thing with He Doesn't Like You, just there to remove that Greedo die whenever it rolls a blank and get rid of some big damage side your opponent has. It's only at a 1 of because you generally don't want to remove any of the dice for Vader or any of his equipment because they're all going to be rolling big damage sides. So when Greedo dies, it becomes less good, if that makes any sense. So I didn't want to increase it to a 2 of. I think the original list already had it at 1. Next up, we got a single close quarters assault. Just in there for after you put down a couple equipment on Vader, roll them in, and then just get rid of your opponent's entire hand. Kinda easy to understand. Next up, we got 2 of Overconfidence. So Vader will pretty much always win the Overconfidence battle, and even if you're not having to reroll your own dice, being able to potentially mitigate 2 big damage sides from your opponent's always a plus. Force Illusion, it does what it does, make sure that Papa Vader stays alive. And then we got Mind Trick. I left it at a 1 of because even though this deck creates a lot of resources, it does go through them pretty quickly. So to have a 2-cost mitigation, it's hard to play this once. It's really hard to try and play it twice. But if you manage to get this on a big swing turn for your opponent, you're good to go. And then we've got the 2 Rise Again. You're never really super out of reach of Rise Again. Start a new round with 2 extra resources, and then with the cards that you'll see in just a second to increase your resource generation. As long as you have them in your hand, you're pretty much guaranteed to get this off when you need it. For resource generation, this doesn't really get you any resources, but with Vader's dice, it's super easy to get this off immediately turn 1, and you're looking for big things like Dark Saber or Vader's Fist, so that you can get those down on the board and save your resources for other big stuff later. Next up, we've got No Good to Be Dead. You heal 2 damage from your opponent, gain 2 resources. You can choose to heal 1 and gain 1 as well. Gaining those 2 resources will generally lead to you doing more than 2 damage, or at the very least 2 damage that turn. So I've never had a point where I've played this and didn't like the outcome of that turn. It's just ridiculous when you've got as many big damage sides as Vader does. And then we've got Respite. Only a 1-of. It's only good to get rid of Greedo. And as soon as he dies, it becomes a dead card, so hopefully you get it early on, and you can just go ahead and get that extra resource out before Greedo gets killed off. Alright, as far as damage from hand, we've got 2 of Price of Failure. It's literally just there to punch somebody in the face with Vader. If you, even without any equipment on Vader, if you manage to get Price of Failure off and resolve Vader's dice twice in a turn, it's almost a 1 game immediately right then. You're pretty much killing 1 character guaranteed unless they have huge health pools and you just don't roll hot. Alright, we got 2 of Bait and Switch. I believe that this was one that I increased to 2 of. Late game, if you end up with 2 resource on Vader and like a +4 on his Vader Saber, your opponent thinks they're fine, they do whatever they want to do, and then you bait and switch into surprise 8 or 9 damage if you have another resource. So it's kind of counterintuitive in that you want to resolve some resource sides so that you can play your big stuff, but to be able to just burst out a ton of damage, it's amazing. And then of course we've got Fear and Deadman. I've actually been thinking about taking this out of the deck. It's obviously good, everyone knows why. Every game that I played, I haven't actually used it yet. That's mostly just because I draw them late and just bad draws on my end. But, I mean, you go up against a 3-wide deck or something with a lot of low health characters, it's going to be amazing to have. We'll see with some more testing. But alright guys, that's the general idea of the deck. Use these 5 cards to generate a ton of resources along with Vader's 2 resource side. Drop big giant weapons and then punch your opponent in the face. So here comes the mirror match, I believe it was, with Kevin. Let me know down below what you think about the deck, anything you would change, and hope you enjoy.
This is a pep talk. Talk.
Alright, well with that starting my video out, what's up guys? Change of Fortune here.
Oh, dude, you started recording?
I did. There you go.
When you're feeling blue. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, gonna try something a little bit different. We will have the ability to talk to each other, but I'll be muting my microphone in between plays so I can tell you guys what I'm planning. We're doing a mirror match with Vader Greedo at the moment. See how it works out, how we play against each other, because that's going to be a thing that happens.
Yeah, and I'm going to mute my mic so I can play the ukulele while we...
There you go. Alright, I'll just ping the board when I'm ready.
You got it.
Alright, so... handful of things that I'm looking for. We have a lot of ways in this deck to play big stuff quick. So I want Vader Saber, and I want the ability to play it, whether that be getting resources from my hand or getting resources from Theed. Usually it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to get the battlefield because Vader, but since it's a mirror, it's 50-50, so... I don't want that first hand. It'd be nice to get Vader's Fist out turn 1, so we'll keep it, just see what happens. Alright, we do get Vader's Saber, and we get No Good to Be Dead, so we have the ability to get it out turn 1. We'll see what happens. We'll just go ahead and get ready to go. Alright, so I rolled a 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7. Ouch. Alright, so he's probably going to take his Theed, if I had to guess. Yep. So my Vader gets 2 shields. And he's going to start us off. Money's important. Alright, so let's see if he Theeds and drops his...
So I have a stupid question here, James.
There aren't any stupid questions, just stupid people.
Can I use No Good to Be Dead when you have no damage?
I mean, you can, but you only gain resources equal to what you heal.
Oh, true. True, I just read that part. Sorry.
There you go. Alright, so he's definitely got something big. He's probably got Vader's Fist in his hand. But that's some in-game knowledge that I shouldn't have, so... Alright, he's rolling in Big Papa Vader. Big Papa Vader gives him some Big Papa damage. Ugh, alright. So I will do the same. I didn't get Big Papa damage, but I did get the damage that I needed. Alright, so I'm going to drop 2 damage into Greedo. He's going to spend 1 to deal 4. He's probably going after Greedo. And then I will no good to me dead to gain 2 resources. And he will do the same. Alright, so let's roll in Greedo. Almost like it's a mirror match or something, you know.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Alright. So I rolled some good old blanks. Honestly, I'm probably going to get rid of He Doesn't Like You to try and re-roll and see if we can't get 1 more resource for Vader's Fist. I really want the 2 resource on Vader. I got it. And 2 damage. There we go. Alright, he's going to power action. I'm going to take 2 resources. And he's going to drop down the Darksaber. Well, I'm going to drop down Vader's Fist. It's 4, 5, and Vader's Fist rolls out. For the 4 indirect, so he's going to use that to get rid of it. I will go ahead and power action to roll it in and turn it to any side. I'm going to turn it to the 3 for free. Alright, so he's going to claim. So I need to decide if I want to kill his Greedo. 3, 4, 5. I definitely have the ability to do it. So, yeah, let's kill his Greedo. Alright, and then we're going to actually roll this guy in. And we're looking for the 2, 3 damage sides. We didn't get it. I mean, 4 indirects going to result in 2 damage on Vader. Let's see. If I re-roll it, it has a 1 in 3 chance of rolling into something that I don't necessarily want. 2 shields isn't bad. 3 disrupt sucks. Alright, so let's do it. We're going to see what happens. We're going to get rid of Fear and Deadman. For the 2 shields. That's alright, I'll take them. Take 2 shields, boop boop, and pass. Alright, so we ended that round with an extra resource, so that leaves us the money for Vader's lightsaber. And we got our price of failures, good. So I can drop Vader's lightsaber, do what I need to do, and hopefully kill Greedo off myself before he kills him. He might be thinking the same thing. Depends on what he drew, but we'll see. So he starts off with a power action, so we are both probably going to be rolling out Vader's lightsaber. He does indeed get his Vader's lightsaber down. Alright, so I think that I want to go ahead and roll in Vader's Fist, power action it, to turn it to the 3 damage to go ahead and kill Greedo in case he's got any price of failures. So we roll it in. And I don't have to turn it, it just hits it. So this leaves my Greedo open to death, but he does have to roll 7 damage. Definitely doable with what he's got, but we'll see what happens. Alright, he did not get the damage, which means that I can go ahead and kill Greedo off. And he gets the disrupt, which is good for him. Well, never mind. I'm going to spend my money on Vader Saber, that's right. Alright. So he is going to discard a Maul Saber to reroll everything but the 2 damage. I would have kept the resources myself, personally, but he ended up rolling back into him, so that's okay. So, he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage, showing that's enough to kill Greedo off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And put a damage into Vader. He doesn't have the resource, though. So if I were him, I'd probably take the resource for Vader's Saber, so that he can get the extra damage off, which would give me the turn that I need to kill Greedo. But then all that damage is coming into Vader. I don't know. Let's see what happens. We will activate my Vader. I rolled into some hot damage, though. Yeah, he is going to indeed go ahead and kill Greedo off. Would you like to resolve that as well? Would you like to resolve that as well, sir?
Not yet. I want to resolve the money first.
Makes sense. I thought about that right after I asked, but you're all good.
Yep.
All right. So that means that these are worthless. I've already got this down. I don't really have anything in my deck that I want to play, so that doesn't help me too much. He didn't mitigate me. So obviously my action is to use Greedo's ability. Well, it's not an action, but it happens. It gets 2 damage down. I'm just gonna pretend that I remembered that myself, you know? Alright, so I've got basically... Alright. So I've got basically 2 dead dice, because I don't really want the shields. I've got 4 dead cards in my hand. So let's go ahead and roll in Vader's Fist, so that I can reroll it if need be. And I will need to reroll it. Alright. So he's going to take the money. I am going to go ahead and resolve the 3 damage, just in case he has mitigation. So he'll deal 1. Pay 1 to deal another and roll a Vader's die back out. And then I will discard to reroll. That should have been rerolled too. That other die should have been rerolled too. I missed it in the drag. Do you mind?
It's fine. Go ahead.
Alright. There we go. Alright, so I don't have the resource to get the extra damage off, but... That was the 3, right? Yeah. I do get 4, 5, 6 damage. And then he's probably going to claim. And then I'll do another 3. And pass. Alright, so at this point, I am going to start looking for some very specific cards, mostly Rise Again. So I'm going to discard those to draw 5. I did not get Rise Again, but I did get that along with that. So I can drop all of these this turn. I could also Mind Trick. He played.
Did you take the damage from Vader's lightsaber?
I did. I had 2 shields.
Okay.
Alright, so he's going to roll in. Excuse me. So he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage showing. 12, 13, 14, 15, which is lethal. Alright, so we have to mitigate. I think that we hit a motive for sticks. And then we've still got Mind Trick. He's going to take 2 shields. Do I do it? I think I do. This shouldn't be here, by the way. So we're going to Mind Trick to make him split his dice up. So we'll get rid of that group. It leaves him with 3 damage for the turn. So he deals 3. I'm going to play a Force Speed. He's got a full hand of probably mitigation. He's going to power action to gain a money. He might have a Vader's Fist, but I don't think that he'll have... Well, he can heal 2 damage from me. Potentially. So I'm going to power action. And we're going to turn it to the 3 damage side. Alright, we'll deal 3. He passes again, so we'll roll this back out. I rolled into 3 more damage, so he either has to mitigate or lose. Alright, so he's got a 1 in 3 shot. Alright, for range. So he's got a 1 in 3 shot of hitting range, and a 2 in 3 shot of me rolling something that's good for him. So let's see what happens. He got it.
Right. No amount of rolling would have helped there, man.
Listen, I had to explain what was happening, so... Alright. Vader's coming in now that he's used some mitigation. And I rolled a crap ton of damage, so let's see if he can mitigate all of it. A little overconfidence. That one and that one. Those 2. Alright, that's a good choice because I can't do anything with that yet. He doesn't know what I have in my hand. And that's game. I also had that, so let's see. Did you happen to have any other mitigation in your hand? Nope. So yeah, even if that hadn't rolled into damage with no good to me dead, it still would have been game.
Yeah. I feel like I held on to this for too long. Like, right. I was rushing to resolve my damage because I was scared you had Rise Again, which you did. Not Rise Again, Price of Failure.
Yeah. If you hadn't killed him exactly when you did, I was going to use it the next turn, so that turn you did it correctly.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I could get 4 cards out of your hand, and that would be awesome. Or you could roll in Vader toys, you know, well, like...
If it makes you feel any better, you didn't get them out of my hand with it, but when you killed him, I had 4 cards in my hand that were dead.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a very good game. Vader just throws a lot of damage, and really it just, in the mirror match, I think it's whoever gets their big stuff down first. Vader's Fist won it for me.
Oh, totally. Something that you can activate 3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're guaranteed to exactly decide that you want at least once with its power action.
Yeah. That's a little redonkulous.
Alright guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye!